So, violent threats. Violent threats had led to the Henderson County Democratic Chair to resign. Well, why is the Democratic Chair of Henderson County, where is Henderson County? In North Carolina. So Henderson County, North Carolina, the chair of the Democratic Party has to resign because of what her husband did. So Leslie Carey is the Democratic Party chair, and she spent years helping to build the county's progressive infrastructure, led one of the most successful local party operations in the state. But because she's receiving death threats, she says she can't continue in the role, which is unfortunate because that's almost like, that's the reason for the death threats, to make sure that you can't stay in a position of power. And the reason why they're getting the death threats is because disabled Army veteran activist Jay Carey, her husband, burned the American flag. He also confronted Representative Chuck Edwards during a town hall, and he didn't apologize for it. But he also burned the American flag. They're both acts of conscience. Some people say it's provocation. Jay said he had begun receiving threatening text messages, voicemail, social media posts after the Washington, D.C. protest. But frankly, he's right. Jay Carey is right. According to Texas v. Johnson, you have a right to burn the American flag if you do it for speech. That's the great thing about this country. I mean, only in America will you see a socialist Muslim win the mayor's race of New York City. Only in America can you burn our nation's flag and it's protected under speech. A lot of these motherfuckers, Citizen United, they'll say that money is speech. Oh, I could pass you money. That's just like me talking. Not really. Money isn't really literally speech, now is it? Burning the American flag isn't really literally speech either. But in terms of being expressive, we've already resolved it. It's a Thurgood Marshall and Scalia decision. So I don't know how long the goddamn court systems are going to fuck with Jay Carey's constitutional rights, because not only is Jay Carey in the right, but Jay Carey is an Army veteran who served in Iraq. He served in Bosnia and Afghanistan. So you're going to tell me that we support the troops, we love the troops, God save the troops, but the moment that they retire, express an idea you don't like, then it's fuck the troops, to hell with the troops? You're going to call them up and give death threats to the troops? He's a veteran. Who would know the love of the American flag more than the veteran? So that sucks that his wife had to resign. I got two other articles here, but I want to make a quick comment. Dick Cheney actually died today. November 4th, 2025. Dick Cheney was like, what? A Muslim socialist? New York City? You know what that feeling is? It's hope. Zoran Mamdani is giving me hope. Zoran Mamdani. M-A-M-D-A-N-I. Mamdani. There's a lot of things I want to talk about Mamdani, but this isn't about Mamdani. Dick Cheney had died because I'm talking about an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran. Oh, all praises to Dick Cheney. Oh, Dick Cheney, what a legacy, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he pushed us into the Iraq war, which killed 1 million people. And that's just like Vietnam, which killed 4 million people. And then it's just like Palestine, 680,000 people have been killed. When it comes to the death count, it turns out that the murderers, they typically don't count the bodies. Big shocker that the goddamn murderers aren't sitting there tallying how many bodies that they've taken out. When it came to the Iraq war, people say that we don't know. We don't know how many people were killed in the Iraq war. It was between 500,000 to 1 million to 1.5 million. So we'll just average it out to 1 million. And what did we get out of that? Did we get cheaper oil, cheaper gas? We could have bought Iraq for less amount of money. How many trillions of dollars? Hell, the Pentagon just loses trillions of dollars. Hey, do you know what happened to that $1 trillion I gave you? What $1 trillion? No, I gave you $1 trillion to do the war, the Tomahawks or something. You had the Apache. What $1 trillion? You didn't give me no $1 trillion. How come we don't audit the Pentagon? How come we don't audit the Fed? How come we don't audit every goddamn department that there is? Meanwhile, we're going to let people in America go hungry because fuck your SNAP benefits. The government's been shut down for over a fucking month. So we're going to maintain the borders, right? So make sure we keep on being anti-Mexican. And then we're going to cut the food stamps, and that's water. So no food, no water, no housing. A lot of people said it was inflation. The reason why you had to vote for Donald was because of all the inflation with Joe Biden. But look at the fucking cost of living. Inflation. All the prices are going through the fucking roof. All the prices, including candy. Sean Dunn is on trial for throwing a sandwich at a customs agent. He said it smelled like mustards. It smelled of onions and mustard. Some people say it was a protest. Other people are saying it was an assault. I think it's much ado about nothing. This is incredible that it's gone to a fucking jury trial. What are we going to lock this guy up behind bars for what? 20 years? You had, what's his name? With the damn baby oil. Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy Combs. He beats the big charges, and then the smaller charge, he ends up getting 2 fucking years in jail for. Meanwhile, Karen Reed, she beat the big charges, but got hit with the small charge, and she was allowed to walk away. Okay, she didn't hit John O'Keefe with her car, but she was drinking and driving. And then she probably hit John O'Keefe with her car when she was drinking and driving. So interesting that Karen Reed gets to walk, even though they got her with a small charge, and then Puff Daddy goes to jail when he was only hit with the small charge. It smelled of onions and mustard. Border Patrol agent testifies sandwich thrown at him exploded all over. I was sitting there telling this piece of shit, he better walk, he better get the hell out of here. I'm going to put my hands on him. I threatened him. We're really wasting taxpayer dollars with this shit. A Border Patrol guy was what's a Border Patrol guy even doing talking to an American? Border Patrol's walking around the streets. Guy throws a fucking hoagie at him. And it's kind of remarkable because the guy worked with the federal government. The guy was part of the federal government, and he said, we don't want you guys in our city, in D.C. D.C. Hoagie hurler trial devolves into detailed sandwich description. It smelled of onions and mustard. He threw it, and it just lettuce all over. He threw it at me, and there was just lettuce. It stunk. I'm the victim here. Were you threatening? Yeah, I was threatening to arrest him. He didn't want me in his town. I was like, yeah, fuck your mother. And he was like, what, fuck my mother? No, fuck your mother. So that was fighting words, right? He issued fighting words, and then I threw the sandwich, and then he started chasing me, and then I started running away. Judge says the trial will take no more than 2 days because it's the simplest case in the history of the world. I don't know if it's the simplest case in the history of the world. Video that went viral captured Sean Charles Dunn hurling his sandwich at a Customs and Border Protection agent outside a nightclub. What are you doing outside a nightclub, you fucking fuck? So some weird Border Patrol guy just goes to a nightclub in his uniform? He should have a sandwich thrown at him just for pretending that he's still doing Border Patrol. What are you You're guarding the border? You're guarding the border of a goddamn nightclub? It smelled of mustard. Lettuce leaves all over the place. You don't understand. Lettuce leaves everywhere. So the guy who throws it says it's a protest. Prosecutors say it's a crime. That's a crime. Yeah, a crime of the century. Meanwhile, you got fucking 3 dead bodies found in Costilla County, and nobody says a fucking word. We don't even know the name.